Joshua anymore. Quite frankly, nobody really cares about him anymore. But I'll knock him out just for banks, maybe.
Is Usyk a tougher fight than Wilder, Tyson?
Usyk?
Yeah.
Hell no. Are you joking? You've got the powerfulest puncher in the history of our sport. And what's the other one going to do? Tap dance around the ring and run away from me. Tip, 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 tip. He didn't do any damage at all to AJ. And he definitely ain't doing any damage to a man like me. I'll obliterate him. He's a cruiserweight. He's a middleweight. He's pumped up middleweight. He was a middleweight in the amateur, 75 kilos. I was a super heavyweight, 11-year-old.
Those are the words of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury as he rates Deontay Wilder over Oleksandr Usyk as the tougher fighter. Let me counterpunch. First off, Tyson Fury rating Deontay Wilder over Oleksandr Usyk, how convenient. I mean, how very convenient is that? The only guy that you fought in this era of heavyweights, but then yet he's the toughest. I'm quite sure he is, because you fought him, though. You know, you haven't fought Joshua, you haven't fought Usyk, you haven't fought Ruiz, you haven't fought... It's a lot of fighters that he hasn't fought. His resume is so shallow to the point where, yeah, I would be saying that shit too if I fought Deontay Wilder, because that's my narrative, because that's my birthright, that's my legacy call, okay? I have to say Deontay Wilder by default, because Deontay Wilder's the only guy I faced. He's the hardest puncher. That means shit, okay? Especially when you move up in competition. The guy that he knocked out, Luis Ortiz, okay? Luis Ortiz has the most talked about narratives of jokes of him being old that I've ever seen. Old ass Ortiz, that's what they call him. Ortiz sparred with Jack Johnson. He sparred with Lennox Lewis. He sparred with Joe Louis. He was around when the first boxing match was ever found. Bars. Those type of things are said about Luis Ortiz. That's the guy Deontay Wilder beat, the only guy credible that he beat. Okay, then you beat him. Then guess what? Now I'm going to fight Dillian White that's already been knocked out twice, so therefore I'm the best fighter in the world. But back to what I'm saying about Oleksandr Usyk and Deontay Wilder. Well, how do you know what a guy's going to do unless you fought him? The only way I can see Tyson Fury saying those type of things is he actually beat the guy that beat those guys. Then you could say, I'm the man that beat everybody else, but you can't even say that man because you're not that man no more. You used to be that man. When you beat Vladimir, but when Joshua did it, it made it piss poor. So what did the Fury fans say? He beat him when he was old. Okay, he was 41 a year and a half later, or a year and a half younger. He was 39 and some change. So he was pushing 40 when you fought him. Next. Then what do you have? Party for 3 years, come back, fight 4 bums, and then, you know, go balls to wall with a smaller heavyweight, southpaw, go figure. And he gave you trouble, all types of problems. But then yet you can tell me that Deontay Wilder's tougher than Oleksandr Usyk, a guy that you never fought. How do you know you never fought him? You never fought him. You never fought Joshua. You never fought Joyce. You never fought Andy Ruiz. You never fought any of these guys. But then yet, Deontay Wilder, because he punches hard, that you call a one-trick pony, okay, you think that he's actually the best fighter or a tougher fighter. I'll admit, Deontay Wilder's tough, but how do you know he's the toughest? Since he's that small, let's flip it. Since he's that small, how about this? A middleweight going up to heavyweight, taking big blows from a big-ass bodybuilder, that you don't call that tough? You don't call that tough at all. Just a little bit. But then yet, you're saying that your guy's tough because you only fought that guy. I get it. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury saying that Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, is tougher than Oleksandr Usyk. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!